Hi everyone, my name is Isioma and this is Mind Your Business. In today's episode, we're going to be interviewing the owner of Box of Prints. Let's go inside.
Box of Prints. Prints with a purpose.
Zara, owner of Box of Prints. So tell us a bit more about what you do.
Okay, so I'm Zara, as she said. I am the founder of Box of Prints. We're a textiles company based in North London. So I'm a textiles designer, and I create print designs for fabric, and it's used for interior and fashion. And so parallel to what I do is workshops for the local community.
So what does a day-to-day life look like for you?
Well, it's unpredictable. I don't know what happens throughout the day. It's not a 9 to 5 where I say, but today I'm going to do some writing or something like that. One day can be all day admin, and the next day could be at a party for a child and running a workshop in a school. So you just don't know. It's an up and down schedule throughout the day, but I love it and I enjoy every aspect of it.
I guess because you're so passionate about it, it makes it way easier to manage doing all of that. Because I can imagine it must be a lot. Is it just you, or do you have other people that helps you? Because you mentioned doing admin yourself.
Yeah, so basically, yes, I am the head of the pack, but I do have freelancers who I use. I'm all about increasing the talents, especially of creatives. So there's a lot of creatives out there who find it hard to get jobs, and they've got so much talent and they just can't find a place where they can work in their field. So I do a call for creative designers and textiles designers or print designers, graphic designers, and make them work on projects that we offer. So I will say it's a collective team. However, I do run the pack. That's it. Yeah.
Great. I mean, so what does your work-life balance look like? Would you say it's something that you find easy or hard, or was it harder at the beginning and now it's easy?
When I started Box of Prints in 2016, and then it was the hardest challenge for me. I think the point that was very difficult is to leave my 9 to 5 job, which was it was like working with young children and helping SEN children, but I knew that wasn't my passion, what I wanted to do. So when I left there, I thought, let's start my business. And to me, to be honest, people's like, how did you start a business? How did you come up with a name? It came to me in a vision. Like, this is the name, this is what you got to do it. But I was so scared to do it, so I just ended up going for it and just doing it. So it was so hard to keep the balance then, but now I understand how important it is to have time for yourself, and because if you do not have that time for yourself or your health goes, who's going to run the business? So it's good to take out a day. Now I've got my weekends to myself. I don't like anybody talking to me about business or work or something like that. I just like to have that time to go out, have fun, take images, put them on Instagram. And just be me, get to know myself as I grow in business. I get to also personally develop. That's it.
Great. I mean, so what would you say is the biggest thing that inspired you to take that big jump in the beginning?
I just thought, I don't know who sang the song, or I knew this before, but you only live once. Wait, was it Drake? I don't know. Whatever. I knew that before. You only live once. I'm on this time on earth one time. I will regret if I go down 6 foot under. I don't know how it's like, and I think back and I think, oh my gosh, I had that and I should have done that. So I'm just that was my encouragement. You only live once, take a step and see what happens.
Just go for it.
That was it really.
And since taking that big step, what would you say is your proudest moment on your journey so far?
Oh, it's like so much big things have happened. But I think the proudest moment was getting my first review.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was, my first customer actually, I remember. And she ordered some printed fabric, my own printed fabric. And she gave me a big spill, and the review was just amazing. And she just helped get more customers in. And I think that was the moment where I thought, I'm going to do this and do this again. And I want more reviews like this. But it just made me feel like it can work. So that was my biggest moment.
Proudest moment.
Yeah, even though there's so much big things that happened, that was it.
Yeah. What do you feel like is next for Box of Prints?
So I look to grow. I'm sure everybody looks to grow, but I look to grow and have different teams in different areas of the business. So right now I'm developing the social events team. And thankfully I've got a cousin she's a HR. And she's good at human resources and stuff, and she's got all the degrees and stuff, and she will be leading that team and helping that team secure secret London places where we can host our social nights. So once that team comes together, I'm going to slowly build more and more teams so we'll be able to take over London.
Wow.
Well, you know.
And then England.
Yeah,
and then
England.
World domination, maybe.
Yeah, Jamaica, if they want me.
Oh yeah, you did mention that you went to Jamaica.
Yeah.
What would you say that was like in terms of Box of Prints?
It's always good. I try my best to do a trip to Jamaica once a year, but that's for relaxation.
Yeah.
But the trip I did I'm trying to remember, I think it's 2012, that was strictly research purposes.
Yeah.
So I got time to just research about my grandmother, to understand where the Scottish element comes into the family, to understand, was it true love or was it just, my great grandma being a slave? What was it? So I got to find out my great grandma, she wasn't a slave. She was a free woman, and she fell in love with a Scottish man. She actually fell in love.
It was true love.
True love. And it led me to put together a story, more like a biography type. And that helped me produce a print called Lost Memories. Nice. And that print is being I will say that print collection is one of my strongest collections I've ever done. It's personal. I bond with it quite well, and it's easy to talk about because every design and every piece that I put together has a meaning. So people think, why is the dog tags on there? Why have you got this? Your background's Jamaican, but it's a blend of Scottish heritage and Jamaican heritage, and the story is told through the print. And that's how I encourage customers who want to print with us or have an idea but cannot print to just tell us your story, and we try and translate it.
That way it's more meaningful.
Because lots of prints now that you might see or you might not even know, it's like easy, quick run. As I said, I like to shop at fast-paced fashion. So it's like quick spots or quick butterflies. And I'm like, no, it needs more meaning. I can put that together. But once you understand how the printing industry works and how designs are made, turning art into fashion, that's the thing that I'm keen for. I'm keen.
So how did you get to know more about that in terms of how the industry works? Was that just through you doing experience, or what was the starting point for that?
So my interest came from going to university. So I went to London College of Fashion, and I chose to do textiles design it was male and female, and it was surface design technology. So we got to explore designs onto fabric and how it can be made for interior and fashion. At the same time, we got exposed to print. That is something I never ever got exposed to beforehand. It's not introduced in the school, so you're not going to know about screen printing, you're not going to know about graphic design or anything. So that I was introduced to that, and I really loved it, and I thought that's the field I want to go into when I leave. But it wasn't as easy when you left university, especially doing something creative. You think you're going to just go and work for Alexandra McQueen. It doesn't work like that. You actually spend 3-4 years doing an internship, and it's just, you waste your money, you're not getting paid. Because even though I went to London College of Fashion, it was definitely, I started teaching myself other things about, print design, how to do different techniques that university never even showed us. So
Would you say that you still could have gotten to where you are now without going to university and going to London College of Fashion?
Yeah, for all those who are watching and you're from London College of Fashion, you can. Seriously, you can. You don't need to, this is so bad. I'm not against education, but for me I definitely, because I had it in me, I knew how to make clothes before, I knew how to do things before, and we live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Lots of things are taught online. There's lots of people showing demonstrations of how to put this, how to do things.
Yeah.
University is not as key anymore. That's it. Yeah, education is good, but certain things and creative aspect it's actually for what the user sees or the audience sees. They determine if a person is good.
Literally.
Yeah.
What do you think of black initiatives like Black Pound Day, for example?
It was good at the start.
Yeah.
It's weared off now. It's good at literally the first introduction, the first month. Yeah, my sales doubled.
Yeah.
It really doubled, and it was. The reason why I say it's weared off now, I think people just jumped on a bandwagon and thought it's Black Pound Day. Let's just support, and it was a one-time support.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not looking for a Black Pound celebrity to come and, buy things with me. I'm looking for a loyal customer who really truly likes my products and my services, and don't think it's a 1 month end of the month thing. So it's a good initiative, but they need to think it. When I say they, it's like all of us. We need to think about ways to keep people buying, and it's either we be better at our services and provide good customer service, or look at the products. Why ain't they buying? So that's what it should have been.
To just cover up everything.
Actually, I'm not really lying. I found myself on Black Pound Day. This is the first one I did it on. Yeah? I was like buying from everyone that was black. I'm thinking, and that's when it came to me. This is not what I want. I was buying things that I don't even need.
Yeah, just for the sake of it.
That's what I don't. That's not what I want for my business.
Be natural.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was actually kind of. There's lots of things that happen in Black Lives Matter movement, and that when that happened, it made me review things that I did in my business and that I did to cover up that I was black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was because I never used to show my face.
Yeah.
And people who used to buy from me were often our white counterparts. So I thought, oh my gosh, if they show my face, that was my thought already in my head. If I show my face, they ain't gonna buy from me.
Yeah.
They're gonna buy from me.
Wow.
But then it got to the point where I have to show my face. This is me. I should have confidence. But another thing that knocked it, that made me go into that way, was because when I started, I was doing markets as well. And I remember having me and other people help me, and the people that helped me were not black. So there was this lady, two women who came up to my store and they were like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love the designs. So chic, so this, blah, blah, blah. Oh my days, who's the founder? That's what they said to the other person.
Oh, right.
And they're like, oh no, they said, are you the founder? And she's like, no. And she said it to another person who was with me who's not black.
Yeah.
Are you the founder? And it took them so long to comprehend that it's actually this lady who stands up for the rest. I look like the founder because I've got a different apron colour on. I'm interacting more with like everybody else. And it made me think, oh, you know what? Probably I'm not going to show my skin colour or anything, or feel it really knocked my confidence, because I'm thinking they're probably thinking it's a white person, so I want to get more sales.
Yeah.
If it's a white person, that does it. And I can make my prices the prices it wants to be. But I felt like if I show myself, it will be like I have to do a bargain, cheap price, or I'm not valuing myself as much. And that was, obviously, I will say, it was a type of slave mentality and something that, I don't have now, obviously, but it made me think more about how I should think of my business and myself, because what I did is disconnected the business from me and made the business talk for itself without showing the hard work I put into it for quite a long years. Now I'll be entering the 6 years. Well, next year I'll be entering. So I should be proud to have this. Yeah.
And you said that you go into workshops and do that with children. Tell us some more about that.
So I team up with a lot of third parties So they could be charities. I do a lot of work for Haringey Council. Islington Council we're getting into now. It's so funny because I'm based in Islington, but Haringey Council always have my back. Islington Council, if you're there, you know, come and support. Come and support. But I do a lot with third parties, and we go into schools. So we have 2 projects with 2 schools in Wood Green, and with those projects we teach like children who find it hard to be like to do well, you know, in their lessons. And it's quite, I know you're thinking, why am I getting those children who find it hard? But it's a way of making them see another way of learning.
Yeah.
And then we've just finished our cohort 1, and it's called the Create Tech. Okay. Yeah, and that was supported by, it's called the European Social Fund. So what they do is they pay us to make sure that we help adults from ages 18 to 25. So we finished our cohort 1 and we had 25 people join online. It was meant to be face-to-face, but because COVID, they dedicated 4 hours every week. So it was 2 hours per session to come in and learn about graphic design, and not only graphic design, to build their CVs so it's more like attractive for graphic companies. Or
so when they then go to apply to stuff, they can use it.
They can use it. So we finished that, and we'll be starting another one in October. So the business has evolved to not things that like it's involved where it's like it's not all creative. It's also making sure that people are increased in their knowledge and their skills so they can have a business.
Nice. So tell us some more about these lovely designs we have here.
Okay, so if you zoom closely, they are Brussels sprouts and beans. This
Very
is from
healthy.
I know, so healthy. Some far people don't know what it is, and then I actually made this print design. It's from a collection called Come Dine With Me, obviously. No, it was Dine With Me, because I don't want Come Dine With Me to come from...
copyright.
Come from a phone. But what is there was a time where I was unwell, and during the time I was unwell, I was watching Come Dine With Me like religiously.
Wow.
Like it was, and I was having cravings for food. Like Channel 4 was just making me, I want to cook more. I just love food, and I was like, what's wrong with me? I just started to love food, taking pictures of food. And then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this food collection, do these healthy, inspired, but quirky food collections. And I started doing like chickens and doing like peas, Brussels, and just position them in weird ways and reflecting them. So that's it. And then I just made cushions out of them. And I have a signature on like what I do with my cushions. I always have piping. I like piping throughout, and I do piping also with some bean bags as well.
So tell us about this print that we have here.
Okay, so this is from my Lost Memories collection, and this is where I bridged the Scottish and the Jamaican heritage together. So you will see there's dog tags, so that's like the Scottish elements. And if you zoom closely, you will see smaller dog tags with the image of like the land. Wow. But you probably need a magnifying glass.
I see it.
And stuff like that.
Wow. So what's the process of making this?
First I draw, and then I scan it through into the computer. And I use Adobe programs such as Illustrator and Photoshop to just make it more graphical. It's something that you can go for, but if you want a more authentic look, you don't need to do that process. You can just take your images, clean it up, and then repeat it and print it. And then after that, once it's in the computer, I will use machines that I have. So it's, everything's mainly in-house. Some things that I can't do is because I don't have the machine. So, and then I'll put them through my big printer, which will transform it onto fabric.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's it. And I've got a cup here as well.
Oh, nice.
So
was that hand-drawn too?
Yeah, so I hand-drawn this as well. I clean it the same process of going into Adobe programs. So again, Photoshop or Illustrator. Clean it up. I can change the colour. I can make it, you know, change the design even. And then I print it using a vacuum printer, and that I have somewhere there. And then it's heat basically, and it's used ink, and it's sublimation ink.
It was really lovely speaking
Same
to you. All your designs are so lovely.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best in Box of Prints.
Thank you, girl.
So that's all from us today, guys. That was Zara, owner of Box of Prints. Make sure you check her out at www.boxofprints.co.uk. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.